Hi everyone, welcome back to Shapes 2. Today we're finally doing Manufacture mode after all this time. Here we are, let's click Manufacture. And then Regular, I'm going to do Hard mode at some point. I am not creative, so I'm just going to say Manufacture and then call it good. I could do 1000% shape goals again, but I am not going to do that. Just going to do Casual, Normal difficulty. Again, going to leave all that the same, and then let's go. Right. Welcome back, operator. Let's address it directly. Your vortex overheated and imploded. The facility is gone, the platform is gone, and your operational clearance has been, let's call it, suspended. We cannot let you near a real factory right now. Regulations, you understand. Unfortunately, whatever happened is not my fault. I don't know why you're making it out to be. However, we are not unreasonable as we have a new job available for you on the other side of the simulation, where the shapes that other operators deliver to enter their vortexes end up as thermally processed waste. Someone has to deal with that. Take the damaged shapes, polish them, and bring them to the trade station to exchange them for better shapes, emerald, gold, diamonds. Collect enough and you can begin assembling a new vortex platform at the Vortex Grand Assembler. Complete that and we will consider reinstating your factory clearance. No promises. Again, whatever happened wasn't my fault. Oh, you again. Remember that little incident with your vortex? Yeah, we're fixing that today. I don't know any incident. This is your dimensional waste receiver. All that dimensional waste has to go somewhere, and that somewhere is your problem now. Process the waste at polishing stations, then trade the results at trade stations for refined shapes. Rebuild your vortex platform and we'll consider giving you a real simulation again. No pressure. I will say I've played a little bit of Manufacture mode once the update dropped, because I wanted to see what it was about, and then I decided to make a series on this game, so the 1.0 update dropped several months ago in April, and now it's August. So yeah, it's been a long time. Anyway, they want us to take the waste from here and then send it into polishing stations. As you can see, these are half and these are full ones, so we have to cut them. Unfortunately, we do not have the cutter yet, so we'll have to be wasteful and half destroy them. Alright, we are now getting 8 belts of this. We need 12 of these for a full space belt. This one can run 2 of those. But let's be efficient. Let's run a full space belt of that to get a full space belt of that. Since we have a full space belt of that, we need 8 of these. 4, 8. There we go. 2,500 should be done really easy, and I'm impatient, so 6x speed. Okay, I'm joking. This is going up really fast because, well, I only need 2,500 and I'm delivering a full space belt. And it's done already. Now we get ruby trade stations and trains already. Polished waste is a start, but the traders want more. Process it further at the ruby station to produce genuine ruby. This also unlocks trains. You'll need them to move shapes across your operation efficiently. From garbage to gemstones, what a career. You said it. So here we have a full space belt of this shape. And we're going to need it in the ruby trade station. This thing takes a full exotic, which means we'll have to stack this together to create a full exotic. We'll also need that shape, obviously. But before we do that, I'm going to improve all this, because I'm going to unlock the cutter. Technically, I can just mix the belt and it'll work, but it's fine. So here I have a full space belt of that and a full space belt of this. Once again, I need 8 trade stations, so I'm just going to actually put them over here to save some space. And here's a full space belt of that shape. Here's a full space belt of that shape. Now what I'm going to do is rotate one of these 180 degrees. Right, since I don't have the 180 rotator, I'll have to do this. 2 90-degree rotators. This is pretty nice for early game, so you don't have to get the 180 rotator or the counterclockwise rotator. Now we have those 2 halves, which we can then stack. Well, I would use my 12 belt stacker blueprint, but I don't have the bent stackers, so I can't. Luckily, I have an 8 belt stacker blueprint right over here that uses normal stackers. So I'm gonna line them up like this. It doesn't matter which input goes where because they're the same. Although I can end up on the same layer anyway. We need 8 of these again, so... in there, 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 in there. Now you have to get a full space built of that shape, which is just a circle stacked on top of a square. And I don't know why it keeps yelling at me to build a ruby station, because I just did. Over here we got a full square, and over here we got a full circle. Here's the full space built of circle. These are on the first layer, 1, 2, 3, 4. These are all on the second layer, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is a full space built of this. I'm gonna copy paste this onto the square platform, and it turns out I built a little extra. Well, that's funny. Here's a row of 8 stackers. Looks like the squares have to be on the bottom. There we go. And then I have to input these into the trade stations. Once all those fill up, I will now get ruby exotics out of here. There goes all of those ones. And this is still yelling at me. I would like it to stop. Dude, I've built ruby stations. Like, you need to calm down. Oh, right. There's also a donation station, which I need to input some shapes. They're listed right here, and then I'll get some research credits. I think I'll unlock that after this is done. Oh, and there goes the first one. Now they want me to build a donation station. Oh, I thought it was after this. Also, I forgot to read what that said, whoops. But basically, we just input this shape, and then we'll get some research credits. They take half a gray exotic and half a diamond. If I copy this setup right over here, and in fact, actually don't stack those exotics. This right there is 2 space builds of the exotic. Also, it looks like that's done. I now have sapphire and painting. Ruby opens doors, but sapphire opens better ones. The traders have agreed to accept it. You'll also gain access to painters, valuable for preparing the precise refined shapes these stations require. The traders are starting to take you seriously. Almost. And now you have a new exotic shape, the sapphire station, but first I want to get this donation station set up. Look at that, the convenient other half of the shape I need is right there. Unfortunately, it looks like the max I can extract is 1 full space belt, so... And if that's the case, I don't need that. Alright, well, full space belt of that, full space belt of that. See, now I can stack those diamonds on top, and then I'll get the donation station shape. Never mind, I forgot to unrotate that, because I rotated this, and there we go. 1 full space belt of that. I could improve it by getting more diamonds from around the world. Okay, so let's take a look at the sapphire station. Ruby exotics go in there. A circle with a red star and a blue square. Now here's the problem, we don't have a lot of those shapes around here. And once we increase production, we are going to need to ship even more here. Next to this waste receiver is where I'm going to make these gray exotics. They can get fed into these ones, the ruby stations. And then I have to ship over everything else. Or I can ship these over to somewhere else because I do have trains. Then you unlock it really early in this game mode. So I'm going to look for a place with a lot of squares, circles, and stars. And red nearby, and blue nearby. That's a lot of requirements. How about over here? We got circles, we got squares, we got paint, we got no stars. Whoops. Oh no, it's right here. It looks like our first level claimant. Alright, so I'm kind of tempted to get 2 space belts of output from the sapphire station, which would mean I need 16 of these. First, let's make 8. I can use my 3-floor balance shape miner, and it will just bounce it onto the 2 floors. Pretty nice. Full space belt of circles. Claim that. Full space belt of squares. Full space belt of stars. I'm gonna get 10. A little extra is always good. I'd love to use my space belt painter, but I can't. So there's a full space belt of those red stars. That's done again. Let's take a look at the shop. Swapper. Don't even care, I'm just getting that right now. We also need to paint these squares blue, so let me go ahead and do that. So shape input goes in there. Paint input goes up there. And there's a full space belt of blue squares. That belt's gonna take forever to get over there. I'm gonna get a train. I forgot how to set up train lines, I'm being honest. And this will go all the way over here. Red stars, blue squares, and that. Slide these stars across, and then I can slide these circles across. And there's the shape. Alright, so there's 1 full space belt of that, and of this. And I'm gonna go ahead and get the second one now. Copy all of this, paste it right there. I will of course need more blue. 2 space belts of those blue squares. Here's a second space belt of circles. Copy this setup. Grab more red paint. Copy the stacker array. Please stop connecting to that. Stack the circles up there. Slide the stars down there. And there's another space belt of that. Well, now I'm debating, should I send these shapes all the way over here? Or should I send these shapes all the way down here? I think I'm going to send these shapes over there. That does mean I'll have to double up production of this. And unfortunately, I'm stupid. Well, I guess I'll have to find a place with squares and circles to make the red exotics. I see a full circle here and half squares over here. I guess I can just use those. Circles. So right here is 1 belt and 2 belts. Alright, and now I need, instead of 8, I need 16 of these. So that's 4, that's 8, that's 16, and wait. 4, 8, 12, that's 12, that's 16. And that should be a full space belt of squares. I'm going to send this on its own train line, and this on its own train line. Wait, I am running low on platform units. Maybe I shouldn't have built this big and this early on. I'm sure I'll have enough. Okay, probably not. There are some circles. And here are some squares. Circles go on top. Squares go on the bottom. But I can't because that's in the way. Okay, just had to reorder them. And there you go. 2 space belts of this shape. Now I'm gonna run out of platform units, so instead of actually building another set, I'm just gonna settle with this for now. My train can go over there. It's gonna go all the way over here. I should probably get a waypoint over here. That'd be a good idea. There we go. Sapphire. And yes, red exotics right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There. Uh-oh. Blue one's plugged in. I'm a little worried. Actually, I'm very worried because I'm literally out now. I now have 0 platform units. Crap. Alright, well, I guess I'm putting that out of commission. All of that out of commission. That out of commission. Okay, maybe building for 2 space belts of output was a little too ambitious at this stage of the game. It's fine. Once I complete this milestone, it should be fine and get more platform units. Also, I'm gonna have to do a little bit of something weird so I have space to input these. Alright, once all those go in, I can output it like this. It's also probably worth looking into getting the B stations. They take more complicated inputs, but you get a lot more shapes in return. Everything except for the red things have gone in. That's probably because they just got delivered now. Let's take a look. There's a lot of packages in there. I need more trains. I'll probably upgrade my train speed and capacity pretty soon. I'm bored of waiting. 5x speed. And it's done. Emerald. Sapphire traders have connected you with their emerald contacts. These stations are larger and demand more complex inputs. The outputs, however, are considerably more valuable. Progress is progress. We're watching. The emerald trade station needs 2 of them. Huh. I did get a lot of platform capacity out of that, which is exactly what I need. Thank you, autosave. So in order to run 1 full space belt, we need 4 of these, because this can go like that. I think now would be a great time to double the production of the sapphire. So, copy. Where should I paste it? Here. Why not? So blue squares go on the top input. Red exotics go on the bottom input, but first I have to double production of this. Copy this setup. Paste it over here, I suppose. And then copy this setup. That's in the way. Nice. Once again, copy this over there. Little gray thing. That goes on the bottom, I think. This goes on top. And we're getting more of those. More wagons. Alright, my red output has been doubled, I hope. Also, I have underestimated how much these can actually travel. So, last I have to plug in that shape, which I decommissioned these inputs. Alright, that one's back. That one's also back. Blue paint is also back. And I'm going to get into the habit of making my pipes neater as I build them and expand. Instead of making a weird cross like that, I'm just going to shuffle around the inputs. And here's another example of what I'm talking about. Instead of making this go underneath it and then going in there, I'm going to plug this in here, and then this will go over here. And there's another space belt of sapphire. Maybe I should deliver this into the donation station so I can get more platinum capacity, and obviously more research credits is good. And again, that's not taking into consideration everything I have to make for the emerald trade stations, so... Alright, I guess I'm tearing all this down. For the second time... By the way, this amount of trains is still not enough. Let me upgrade my train speed. Or capacity, that works too. Or both, there we go. Now I want to find a place with this shape, circles and diamonds, and then this shape, circles and diamonds, so I just need circles and diamonds. How about over here? I've got full circles, half diamonds, and blue. I can also use this full diamond, I just realized. Alright, here's where we're making emerald. Emerald, yes. So technically we only need half a space belt, since we're only running 4 of these machines. But I'm gonna get a full space belt anyway, because we're gonna get 8 later, so... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And there's some bow ties. That is making a full space belt of bow ties. Now over here, I'm going to do the same thing, kind of. I only need half a space belt, so I can paint it blue, and then cut into bow ties, and then get a full space belt. There you go. Now I'm going to copy this exact same setup, paste right there. Here's a full space belt of the blue diamond bow tie, and this thing. So these going to go all the way over, in there. There's the output. Now I also need a full blue diamond, so here's a full space belt of diamonds. And here's my full circle. Unfortunately, I have to cross this pretty annoyingly. Circles go on the bottom, diamonds go on top. There we go. I am out of platform capacity again. Alright, I'm gonna take my full space belt and plug them in like this. This goes in there. Plug it in, plug it in, plug it in, plug it in. That should be all of them going in. And I did it with 18 platform units to spare. Since I'm not doing anything else, gonna speed up time to 8x again. Instead of doing that though, I'm gonna just make sure these are working, because there's a good chance they're not. Yeah, I need more train capacity. And 2 of them. 2 loaders. 3 to spare. There, now I have 0. You know, maybe I should save for the 3rd machine level, that's gonna help a lot. I will have to rework all of this, but seeing as my platform capacity is being annoying, I'm gonna do that anyway. And that's done. Gold. Got an achievement. Gold. Real gold. The traders out here don't ask where it comes from, and neither should you. Just deliver the right shapes and collect your share. Your vortex fund is growing. Don't get attached to the gold. It's not for keeping. Only 750 platform capacity. Now what I probably should be doing is inputting this shape so that I can get more research credits. And it looks like out of these trade stations we get half a green exotic. If I stacked all of those together, I'll get 1 notch, I think. I'm gonna need 8 more of these for 2, and then 16 more for a full space belt of the green exotic. Let's take a look at the gold trade station. Green goes in there, and then we need those shapes. But I think that's going to be it for this episode. Made a good amount of progress. In the next episode, I want to get more research credits so that I can buy the 3rd machine level, and maybe more train upgrades. Oh yeah, I forgot platform capacity upgrades exist. Maybe I could get that if I'm struggling this much with platform capacity. I'll have to make this shape and then the alternate trade stations. It might be too early for this, but who knows. These alternate trade stations also look pretty good. This one takes half a red exotic to make a full blue one. This one also takes a lot less blue exotics to make the same amount of green. So we'll see what happens next. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do everything. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.